Hello traders, today is September 2nd, 2024. I'm gonna go over 12 different names today. So let's get into it. This is not financial advice. This content is for entertainment purposes or educational purposes. If you find any utility on these videos, please like and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. I strongly suggest you to do your own due diligence and research before you invest your capital in any type of equity. That being said, let's start with AMC. Not AMC, I'm sorry, AMD. What we're seeing here is that one day chart. We're kind of flagging in this area right now. This last candle right here is kind of like riding the 35 SMA. On the last trading day, which was Friday, this name was up 2.11%. I do believe that if we break this resistance level, which I was talking about for quite a while, we might see a similar reaction to what we saw in the middle of November, on the middle of August. We have to break this resistance level, and then, in my opinion, you have to keep an eye on the 200 SMA as resistance. Then you also have resistance at 161. MACD and TSI are looking neutral. The here on the histogram, it's definitely looking a little bit weak. We need more momentum to move higher, and we'll see if we get it next week. We have some data coming, which is unemployment data that is going to be detrimental on how the market is gonna, I guess, interpret data versus what the Fed is going to do. Anyways, indicators are looking neutral. The RSI is not looking too bad, but it's not looking great either. So again, keep an eye on that 35 SMA, and your range right now is a 35 SMA resistance, 151, and then next resistance would be the 200 SMA. That's a point where your eyes gotta be. That's what I have for AMD. And now let's move into Amazon. Amazon had pretty interesting, I guess, trading day on Friday. It was up at one point almost 4%. It closed on Friday at 3.7%. Good momentum, good volume. I like Amazon right now. We're bouncing on the 200 SMA. Now you are over 175 resistance. Now is, when it opens tomorrow, it's gonna be support, and you're also right over that 35 SMA. We'll see how things move tomorrow, but I wouldn't be surprised that we actually get to resistance 181 and probably cross. We'll see, but definitely you have a move right here. And remember what I was saying last week when we were on this area right here. And I was saying, don't be surprised last week and the prior, don't be surprised that we're going to break support and then we're going to fill the gap. There was a little gap right here, and we actually did. And then what I also said is, like, keep an eye on the 200 SMA. It kind of went down towards 167, and then it bounced back up. This is due to some news that Amazon had, and I do believe that there is going to be momentum. I like Amazon. I personally like to trade Amazon. It's one of my best performing, I would say, names when I get actually on it. So I'm just going to keep an eye. I want to see what is going on. The histogram is also looking good. Volume is looking good. The MACD and the TSI are looking a little bit neutral, but pointing up. That is also a good thing. And then you have the RSI that is moving up as well. I'm sorry, my dog just got in the room and he likes to cry. Bruno, please don't cry. And so that's what I have for AMD. I'm very sorry for the noise. So next, let's do AVGO. And AVGO is being, let me take a quick note on AVGO. I put this trend line right here. It's moving nicely. We'll see again what we get on this sector. And let's see if there is momentum going on. MACD and TSI, they're also looking neutral. I don't mind them. The the volume is also moving up a little bit, which is also a good thing. You have a resistance at 165.5, and if you break that, or if you continue going here within the next 2 days or 3 days, and you mount, then you're gonna have a nice move towards an area up here that has less liquidity. But there's gonna be challenges here, in my opinion. Again, you're over the 35 SMA, you're breaking this trend line. We'll see if we get momentum next week, and if that is the case, I think the move is gonna go past 166.5. That's what I have for AVGO, and a name that I'm actually keeping an eye on, and I will tell you why. That is VOX. And let me take a note on this really quick. And I'm sorry, my dog is distracting me a little bit. But anyways, I saw this move, and I'm going to tell you why I'm mentioning this. And the reason is because I bought puts on this on Friday, I believe. Yeah, Friday. And they expire, I think, by the end of October or beginning of November. I don't have my brokerage account open right now. But I have a couple of months in these puts. And the only reason why I'm actually going short on this position or in this name is because there's lack of liquidity here. It's very extended compared to other times. It's quite extended, and when I see these kind of reactions, I normally tend to go short because there's going to be an opposite reaction on this. Now, right now it's moving slow, which I'm okay with it, but I wouldn't be surprised, and this is going to chop on its way down towards this gap. I'm not sure if it's going to fill the gap or not, but you definitely have very little liquidity in this area, as you can see on the chart. Also, volume is decreasing, which is a good indication. You had 10 million, then you went down to 6 million, and now you are at 3.5 million of volume. That's another indicator for me that tells me, well, this looks like a setup that I wanna go short. However, I understand the implications of risk because a lot of people can jump into this based upon earnings news and whatever, or FOMO. But this is not a name that worries me too much. So I do think that we have a lot of room on the way down, and we'll see what happens next week. Even though my puts are for end of October, beginning of November, it's probably end of October. I will probably sell within a week at the latest. I just have to see the momentum. Once I start seeing weakness on this, I just get out. But so far, it's looking good. MACD, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, that if you have a couple of more green days and this extends a little bit more, which would make it more enticing, I would probably jump with a little bit more. I would probably buy more puts in that case, but RSI is very overbought. TSI is still looking or showing strength, so that's a risky part of this move. But again, volume is decreasing, and I think after a 3-day break from the market, meaning today Monday, being the fact that we're not trading today, we might see a little bit of a cool down in this area right here. Anyways, that's what I have for Box and VOX, and then let's move on to Carvana. So I haven't mentioned this name in a long time. I think short in this area right here. Yeah, in May there was a pretty big gap right here. So my instinct was telling me this is probably gonna continue going down, especially if you break this resistance level right here, and it did, and support level, my bad, and it did, and it continued going down. So I did take that, and then I left it alone, and I kind of didn't even look at Carvana for a while. But now you're seeing this point of resistance that couldn't be, that actually Carvana had a really hard time, I guess, going over. MACD and TSI are already on their way down. The histogram is also saying the same. Volume is increasing for sellers very slightly, but I do believe that there might be an opportunity here to continue going down towards 35 SMA. That would be the point. What I would be looking at, the 35 SMA, and then your next resistance, support level is the 36.7. So your two supports right here are 35 SMA first, and then you have 136.7 as support. That's what I have for Kava. There is definitely opportunity to the downside. I might have it on my focus list. I have 4 names on my focus list right now. I have 5 names on my focus list. All of them are to the downside. Anyways, that's what I have for Carvana. And now let's do. I was looking at. I have so many names here. So it's getting okay. Let's take a look at Google, and it's chopping. It's playing on this support level. It's going down and up, and it's not doing much. I do believe that out of big caps or the Magnificent Seven, this is kind of lagging a little bit. Maybe we can put on that same packet kind of Tesla to that, but the charts are so different. Anyways, I do believe that that Google still has an opportunity to continue going up and eventually will. The thing is like when. Right now, it doesn't look very enticing to me. On Friday, it was up 1%. That's a good thing. Let's take a look at a different time frame. This is a 1 minute chart. It actually had the move in the last 10 minutes or the last 15 minutes of trading. Yeah, that's your candle right there. But anyways, I do believe that there is opportunity here to the upside, yet in my opinion, it's not showing me much. We'll see what we see tomorrow, what we get tomorrow. If we have a little continuation here, that would be interesting. Let's take a look at the weekly chart and see what we get. Yeah, I still think that there might be a move coming up for Google. Now, if this continues going down, I would keep an eye on the 200 SMA, but there's a little bit of volume coming up. Again, for the most part, next week, for anything that I want to go long, I'm going to take some time and I might take some opportunistic positions for to the downside. Anyways, that's what I have for Google. In reality, you just have to keep an eye on the 164.1.5 support. Your resistance level is at 35 SMA for now. We need volume. That's what we need. We need news. We need something that is going to bring this up. If not, it's just going to chop either down or chop their way up. I don't like to trade like that. Anyways, that's what I have for Google. And now let's go to, I want to take a look at something that I put in my profile so I can get those notes. Let's do, where is it? I'm sorry about this. Intel. So look at this chart. It looks interesting. I think the CEO of the company bought shares right on this candle right here. I think it was on Monday the 5th or the following day. So there was some, I would say, I wouldn't say a heavy amount of insiders buying, but the CEO was purchasing stocks, which is, I guess, an indication of something coming up. Well, the stock went up to this resistance level right here at 22. It went down a little bit, and then we are going back up to 22 again. Now, on Friday, Intel was up almost 10%. That is quite impressive. You basically have no liquidity here, so this gap can fill easily. You have a next resistance level at 24. MACD, TSI are looking good. I really like when the TSI compresses like this and then it starts pointing up. RSI, because of the 10% move, is already moving quite aggressively. And I think this is due to the news that the company is considering splitting its design and manufacturing business. And this could have significant implications for future performance. Now, how is that going to play out? I have no idea. I mean, I'm just telling you what is happening with the CEO purchasing shares on the beginning of August. And then the company considering splitting the design and manufacturing business. And the implications that will have. Now, those are the news right now. And what I think is going to happen is it's going to take some time to really restructure what Intel wants to do. So I think next week is going to be interesting. We'll see what continues or what happens here. I do believe that if the news and the press releases that Intel actually provide to the market are going to be very interesting and are definitely going to have an implication for this next move. If there's nothing really going on, this is just going to move up very slowly, but I'm very interested in this area right here. And so yeah, you have more volume. The histogram is looking good. These indicators are also looking good. So we'll see what happens throughout next week. But Intel should be one of those stocks to keep an eye on. It's interesting, at least for the time being. Now let's take a look at where are you? JP Morgan. And one thing that is worrisome for me in this sector, the entire banking sector, is how parabolic this move is. Now, one of the things that you have to keep in mind, normally these names, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, they move slow with this type of candles. You're not going to see a giant candle going up or going down. But what I see here is this very aggressive move from August 5th, when everybody thought the war was going to end, and we are doing all-time highs almost every day. This is pretty insane. And if you take a look at this on the weekly, this looks super aggressive. Look how extended you are on the MACD, and look where you are on the RSI. So don't be surprised if we actually have a pullback. Look at this thing. Look at the MACD, and the TSI is out of control. Don't be surprised if you have a pullback coming within the next few days, or maybe within a week or so. I mean, I think this is going to happen sooner than later. I think this is coming for sure. There might be some opportunities. So one of my the positions, now that we're talking about the sector, that I'm thinking about going short is XLF, which is this ETF for the financial sector. Because look at this thing. You know, this is looking wild. So when I see these kind of things, just like when I did Rocket Launch, and when I've been doing ASTS, and I did stuff as well, and all of these names that were going parabolic, it makes sense, at least in how I like to trade, to short for a short period of time. You know, you don't want to hold that for too long, but you want to short the correction, and that is what I'm seeing here. Let's go to the weekly. Look at this. This is just out of control. So I wouldn't be surprised and a correction would come around, and I'm gonna welcome it. Let's take a look at the MACD. You know, look at this move, and it continue going, and that is the thing that you have to be careful about. But I think a little bit of threat is probably coming up. That's just me. You do what you gotta do. You don't have to follow what I'm gonna do. Just keep an eye on the charts. You know, what you can do in my videos is take a look at the charts that I'm presenting, open the chart yourself, and then make your own decisions on and see if I am making sense or not. But anyways, that's what I'm saying for JP Morgan. I'm not saying that I'm gonna jump on this name and short it. Maybe I will, but what I'm saying is I'm just gonna wait and see, and if I find or I see weakness on any of these names, especially JP Morgan and XLF, I would probably go short on them. I don't have a position on them yet. That's what I have for JP Morgan, and let's take a look at NQ, just for reference, so we can understand. I think if you go under the 35 SMA, you're bearish, so you have a little bit of a leeway here. So under 19.3, I think we're in trouble, and I think if we continue going, if we break, actually, what is this, 9.7, basically 9.7, then we might see a continuation to the upside on the Nasdaq for the next week or so. I think tomorrow is crucial, but also data coming for. Let me take a look. When is this? Because I haven't. Data that we have for unemployment, which is, I just want to confirm that I'm going to give you the right information. This is being a little bit slow. Okay, so yeah. So we have next week, or starting this week, not next week, this week, spending nothing tomorrow. Balance of trade, exports, in factory. Yeah. So tomorrow we have, not tomorrow, Wednesday, we have jobs and jobs openings, job quits, and then we have ADP on Thursday, employment change, jobless employment claims on Thursday as well before open, jobless claims. Yeah, we have all that between Wednesday and Thursday. So just be mindful of that. And if those numbers don't come the way the market wants them to come or anticipate to come, we might see a pullback. Wouldn't be surprised on that. But at least for now, it looks like we are continue going up. And we'll see what we get. Oh, look at the volume. We see what we get after that. But again, keep an eye on the 35 SMA on this chart. And then if we go over 19.7, we're moving up. We're continuing moving, going up. Now let's mention this name that I haven't in a while, and that is NTNX. And I was talking about NTNX right here. So we had this situation here on earnings. This was still this massive gap right here, which is already being filled a little bit. And what I was saying is there's going to be opportunity to the upside. And then this started ranging in this area between 55 and 52. And then, we got this nice move. And I was going long. I do believe I went long in one of these candles, either this red candle or this green candle. And then I got out, I think, on this guy right here, because in my opinion, that was too weak. I wanted out. Well, this continued going up, and it got it hit resistance at 59 or 60, and then it actually collapsed all the way down to 44. Now we're seeing this move, and I think there is opportunity here to go short. This might continue going up, in my opinion, towards 66, and then we're going to find this resistance here and probably going down. So I wouldn't be surprised, and this gap right here is going to be filled before this gap up here. NTNX is on my focus list to go short. However, I don't have a position on this name yet, and I think I'm going to wait a couple of days. I just want to see how this behaves. If volume is still going down and there's weakness, I'm probably going to get in. I would love to see a little bit more green again towards 66, which is resistance. And then I think it's going to fail somewhere in this area. Now, it could fail before that, but I would prefer seeing a little bit more of a push. But anyways, this is in my focus list to go short. Now, let's do a name that I don't think I've mentioned this name before. You all know it. Your girlfriends probably use it. That is Pinterest. So let me take a quick note on this. So you have this little flag right here. Looks good. I'm not putting any levels right now. I'm just want to wait and see what happens here. I think the only risk that I see here is the lack of volume. If you lose volume, this is going to be invalidated, but it's already starting to move and trying to break this trend line. So we might see something interesting next week from Pinterest. There might be opportunity. There is definitely a little bit of momentum coming, but you can see it right here on the volume. But we need a little bit more. I don't mind the MACD and the TSI. They are actually looking good. The RSI is also looking good. This was definitely completely oversold. I think there was a very big overreaction. Now, if you want my opinion about what I think about this company, I don't think it's a good company. I don't think people really uses it very much, but I don't know. What do I know? Just keep an eye on Pinterest. And then last but not least, before we end this video, will be Visa. And look at this setup. I did post this on X or Twitter. It's playing beautifully. I was mentioning it on this little candle right here. So this was back on Wednesday the 21st. Look at this move. You missed it. It's your fault. It actually looks better on the weekly chart. Look at this. Beautiful. So if you were here, took some calls, or maybe in this area right here, waiting for the 200 SMA to be mounted, bada bing, bada boom, you're right here. So this is great. MACD and RSI probably have a little bit more juice, but again, a lot of these names that are pushing so hard, I would be cautious. I think that if I was playing this name, I would probably leave it alone and probably sell tomorrow. But I just wanted to mention this because this was on X for a while. I mentioned this on videos as well, and it's playing out very nicely. Okay, traders, that's all I have for today. Enjoy the rest of the long weekend, how many hours is left. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.